What happens to the woman's vagina if she's not having sex? Have you ever been wondering? How long have you ever stayed without sex? And what happens to your body when you don't have sex? Let's talk about the changes that happens to your body when you are not having sex. What happens to your vagina? Will your vagina become tighter? Will you gain secondary virginity? What will happen to your libido? Will it increase or will it decrease? Will abstaining from sex decrease your fertility? Should you stop using birth controls if you stop having sex? This is some of the questions that I'll be answering in this video. So stay tuned, relax, and enjoy. Before we continue, so far as you've seen me wearing pink, that tells you I am here strictly for our ladies today. If you stay long without having sex, will it affect your fertility? The answer is no. Of course, if you're not having sex, there's no way you're going to get pregnant. But if you're not having sex, it does not affect your ability to conceive, or it does not affect your fertility. Will it affect your chances of getting ovarian cyst? The answer is no. Will it affect your menstrual cycle? The answer is no. One thing that can happen to your vagina if you stop having sex is decreased elasticity. You know that the vagina in itself is elastic. It can stretch for a baby to pass through. It can accommodate a penis or even a toy. And as soon as the baby is removed, it goes back to its original state. The vagina can stretch itself to give way for a baby to pass through. It can accommodate any size of a man's penis. It can accommodate any size of toy that you decide to play with. But the truth of the matter is, as soon as that activity is over, the vagina goes back to its original state. So if you don't engage in any of such activities for a long time, I'm not talking about a week or two, I'm talking about a year or maybe some 6 months or a long time, the vagina loses its ability to stretch that much. So anytime you try going near a man, you begin to experience some level of pain. That does not mean that you have gained secondary virginity, but that tells you that the vagina has lost its elasticity. So it will take a while before it can expand itself to accommodate whatever you are inserting. In other words, it becomes tighter and does not stretch easily. For some women, this is a good thing because they feel that the vagina has become tighter, so it is good for them. Some women feel a little bit uncomfortable if they decide to go and have sex, simply because once the vagina has lost its elasticity, penetrating her becomes difficult. So some women find it very uncomfortable for them to enjoy whatever is happening. If you continue to experience this pain, if you have been active and having sex, then you have to discuss this with your doctor, because it has become unusual. Because the degree at which the vagina becomes elastic depends on each and every woman. No woman is the same. How Anita will feel will be different from how Barbara will feel. Now let's discuss about secondary virginity. It's actually funny when I hear some women saying if you stop having sex, your hymen grows back and you gain secondary virginity. The truth of the matter is, once the hymen is broken, it never grows back. What is a hymen? The hymen is a very thin layer that covers the surface of the vaginal canal. So as soon as something enters and this thin layer called hymen breaks, it has no repair. It cannot grow back. Some women even think the hymen covers the vagina entirely, but it doesn't cover the vagina entirely. It covers the vagina partially. So you assuming the hymen was covering the vagina entirely, where will your menstrual blood come from? Where will it pass? This tells you that the hymen covers the vagina partially until you have sex or until you have any activity that breaks that hymen off. And if that hymen is broken off, there's no way it's going to grow back. And if you are a virgin and you decide to have sex, this hymen will break and tear apart. But due to the degree of which the breakage happens, some may experience blood, some too may not experience anything. It depends on the lady and how her body is being formed. If you've already broken your virginity and you've not been active for a while and you go back to visit a man and you realize that it has become more tighter, it doesn't mean that the hymen has grown back. It simply means the vagina has lost its elasticity. So with time, it will be elastic again for you. Anytime a woman thinks she has gained a secondary virginity, this is completely false. Let's talk about your libido. When a woman stays for a long time without having sex, the urge of having sex decreases. A woman's libido decreases when she's not having sex. Unlike a man whose libido can easily be sparked up as soon as he sees a beautiful lady that he likes. But with regards to a woman, she finds it very difficult to get aroused when she's not being active. A woman will need more time, she will need more romance, she will need more pep talks and all that in order to get her in the mood. Unlike a man, as soon as we say Jack, then there he comes. A woman's anatomy is not built like that. It actually takes time for a woman to be in the mood and get aroused. Another thing that can happen when you stay too long without having sex is sexual frustration. If you stay too long without having sex, you deprive your body from these feel-good hormones. If these hormones are not being released, that's when you begin to think more of, you need to go and get some, you need to go and get some. It's all because your body really needs it. So if you are there and you feel like today you need to go and get some, then that means your body needs that feel-good hormones, which is dopamine and oxytocin. In some cases, the woman can even be having mood swings simply because she needs to get some. If these feel-good hormones are not in your system, some may feel some heaviness around their labia, some tenderness in their breast and all that, until they go and satisfy themselves. That's when they are going to feel good. That's why in most instances, if a woman is acting up, her mood has changed all of a sudden, the people around that lady quickly notice that no, this lady needs to get laid. this lady needs to go and visit the boyfriend, or the boyfriend needs to come and service this woman. And it works like magic. As soon as that lady gets serviced, all her mood swings will go away, and she'll be now be wearing smiley faces. If you stay away from having sex, your chances of getting sexually transmitted diseases also reduces automatically, because the only way you could get infected is through sex. So if you are avoiding it, how can you get sexually transmitted diseases? In some rare cases, some ladies may be picking up urinary tract infections from the washroom that they visit. But sexually transmitted diseases such as HIV and AIDS, it's rare for you to get it if you are not having sex, and if you've not come into contact with any infected object that can also affect you. You will not get any sexual transmitted diseases if you stay away from sex. If you stop having sex, is there a need for you to continue taking your birth control pills? The answer is no. The only time you get pregnant is when you are having sex. And if you are not having sex, how on earth can you get pregnant? So taking the birth control pills will be unnecessary, because if you take them, there's nothing it's going to prevent, because you are not having sex and there's no pregnancy on the way coming for the medicine to go and prevent. So staying away from sex and still continuing to take your birth control pills is not necessary. It's waste of money, your time, and your resources. As soon as you stop having sex and stop taking your birth control pills, you realize some changes in your body. It's not because you are not having sex, but it's because you have stopped taking your birth control pills. If you stop taking the birth control pills, your hormones begin to change again and go back to its normal state. This makes most ladies' bodies change a little. It's very normal, because the chemicals you are taking in your body to go and prevent the pregnancy is not coming in anymore. So the body goes back to its original state. This does not cause for any alarm. You are extremely fine and you are safe. So now you know what happens to your vagina if you are not having sex. I have more interesting topics such as this one, so kindly subscribe to this page and watch out for more. Thank you.